How long can China continue to play the same game, leveraging its cheap currency to drive growth on? Let's put that question to a currency strategist. I'm joined from Frankfurt by BHF-Bank's Philipp Nimmermann. Philipp, great to see you. How long can they actually stay pat with regard to the yuan?
Well, I mean, there's no actual limit for that. I mean, they haven't been doing anything to their currency the last 1.5 years, and that's why they are now the export world champion. So I think they will not start appreciating their currency against the US dollar or other currencies at the moment, because they still really depend on the export growth for their future. Therefore, I don't think they will be pressured by anyone. They might appreciate a bit, but they don't want it to look like being pressured or bullied by the US or other governments.
That's just the point, isn't it, Philip? They can't be seen to be actually railroaded in any way. It's better, surely, for everybody just to keep quiet, and they'll do it of their own volition.
Yeah, probably that will be the way they do it.
Right, what else is going on at the moment? We've seen after that jobs report, the follow-through, we've got a weaker dollar out there. Does that continue?
I think so, yes. I think euro-dollar tried to go down the 132-ish, 142-ish, and didn't work. So now I think the game is up for a stronger euro, probably trying to, as a target, 147. We have to break 146 before that. But I think this week, especially the first half of the week, we'll have a euro-dollar story.
ECB likely to raise rates before the Fed?
I still think so. I still think so. We probably see the ECB coming out this week on Thursday, telling us something about inflation expectations, because there are some inflation expectations priced in the market which have been rising strongly. So therefore, I think there's a chance of the ECB being slightly more hawkish than perhaps expected. That could also help euro to go up a bit further. And
all this cold weather that we've been having, it's bound to have an effect on the economy here. How far of the foreign exchanges are factoring that in?
I think not really that much. Obviously, the payroll data was distorted by the cold weather, and we'll probably see January figures being distorted. I think so. The story is there, but nevertheless, people were very much positioned towards a strong dollar last week, and then now had to short cover, and now I think the weather is not that important for the foreign exchange market at the moment.
I'm just thinking what happens in terms of perhaps an interest rate delay, a delay in raising rates here. That's what my point is.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the weather is obviously a temporary factor. We have to see how January develops. It looks like January might turn up a bit warmer than December, so we could get some stronger economic data from the payroll side, for example. Definitely, I think there's no central bank which is going to start early raising interest rates. Neither the ECB, nor the Fed, nor the Bank of England. So this year will take a long time until central bank will do something.
Philip, let's just talk about the new finance minister in Japan. He was dominating events last week. He's perhaps speaking out of turn. Is he going to keep quiet, and what's the likely impact here on the yen?
I think it was quite important, this change of finance minister charge, because, I mean, Mr. Khan definitely is an export man. He favors a weaker yen, so I think 95 or even higher is the target for the finance minister. But I think the best thing is not to talk too much about currencies these days. His former finance minister talked that much about the currency which moved the dollar-yen down to almost 86. I think if he stops talking now, we'll see a slight appreciation of the dollar-yen going towards 95, as I said, because that is in favor for the weak Japanese economy. They do rely on exports, and the yen is far too strong for their future.
Philip, what's your trade of the day?
I think I would stay with the euro-dollar. Just buy euro-dollar.
Okay, and just one last thing as well. Swiss National Bank saying that they want to prevent excessive moves by the euro against the franc. Does that mean them coming into the market?
I think there's always a good chance they haven't stopped worrying about deflation, so they're always there to come in.
Philip, thank you so much for joining us. BHF Bank's Philipp Nimmermann.